So my name is David Isiguzo, David Ogechukwu Isiguzo, which means God's time. I'm an actor, I am a writer, and I am the co-founder of Mustard Seed Pictures, which is a new production company that will be founded and established very soon. So Brown Sugar is an amazing short film, personally, I believe, on the story of two young people who are trying to navigate the world as young people, their love for each other, their relationship with each other, and all while trying to battle heroin addiction. Yeah, they sort of explore their love in a way where it's very new for both of them. Certainly very new for my character, Fidel. So yeah, that's what Brown Sugar is. Okay, so Fidel Rotimi, which his second name means stand by me, which I thought was very clever. Fidel's character, he is someone that is sort of very, robust in his nature. He always wants to explore new things and find new things, which is the sort of connection I had with him. And he kind of just lives in the moment. And obviously where the film starts, you sort of find him, naturally at a party, which is where a lot of young people like to be in times like this. And from there, it just kind of almost lights a match. And as the sort of that flame and that spark ignites, he just kind of explores life through that way. So through his relationship with Leanne, and just his relationship to how he treats life in general. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away, so yeah. So the processes that I used to help me embody this character, I used a lot of resources. I asked a lot of people that I knew that were addicted to certain types of drugs. Soft White Underbelly was my best friend, which is a really nice channel on YouTube. There's a guy called Mark who just interviews a lot of people, from pimps to tricks to former gang members to former prostitutes to recovering drug addicts, and just in the way that he interviews them, it's just so natural. He allows them to speak. So through allowing these people to speak, you're able to get a real insight into them as a human being. You almost forget that they have, the title of what they're going through is almost sort of second, and you just see them as a human being. So Soft White Underbelly was really useful. I watched a lot of reference films, Heaven Knows What, Candy, and Candy has Heath Ledger in it, and that was recommended by me from my lovely friend Jenny, who plays Leanne. So she said, watch Candy, it's really good. Heaven Knows What, I'm a big fan of the Safdie brothers, so that was amazing. It had all the content that I could possibly need in wanting to explore drug addiction and living life at the same time. And yeah, just a couple sort of other films and sort of things like, Top Boy was really interesting. And really life, really. Like I grew up in East London and North London, and it's all around you. And the thing is, you don't necessarily pick it up and see it as a child. It just becomes of you. It becomes part of your upbringing. So you kind of subconsciously remember, oh, that was the guy that always tried to, ask my mum for money. And African parents tend to be like, you don't want to end up like that. You better study your book. And then as you grow older, you realize it wasn't that they didn't study their books. It was that there was so many other things that came to them, and life happens a lot of the time. So yeah, references from life, and obviously films helped as well, quite a lot. What kind of people would identify most with my character? I think everyone should. I think that was my goal. I think that every facet of my character should at least relate to everyone that watches it in some way, and it doesn't necessarily need to be every single part of my character. It could be the whole love aspect and looking for love. It could be the whole fleeting enjoyment and going from party to party. It could be recovering from something. It doesn't necessarily need to be drugs. It could be recovering from heartbreak. It could be understanding what it takes to be able to give your heart over to someone, and how it feels when it's broken, or, you know, so many different things. So I hope one person, or I hope everyone, can take an element of the film or an element of Fidel and relate to it, even if it's just, you know, one small detail. So what first attracted me to the discipline of acting, and what keeps me, you know, continuing that is that it was all an accident, really. I was a fundraiser for 3.5 years when I discovered acting. So prior to that, I had no knowledge of it. I was working in Stratford. I was working for Save the Children, and a random guy comes up to me who was, I would say, a director, and he sort of said, "No, I've seen you kind of interacting with people. I think you should try acting." And I was like, nah, that's not for me. Because the perception I had of acting is that you'd go to like a really nice school, you'd pay a lot of money for it, you'd be part of this certain area, and then they might pick up the odd, you know, Tom Hardy or the Riz Ahmed here and there, but like a lot of it was like kind of like the upper class. That was my perception of it at the time. So I kind of just said, nah, that's not something I want to do. And then the next day we returned there, and it's not something that we always do when we're fundraising. We never go to the same site twice in a month, more or less a week. And lo and behold, I saw him again. And he's like, "Look, come to this workshop. You can have the first sessions free. First day you come is free. I just want you to experience it." So I went to the session and I fell in love with it. I think they came in, they were doing some camera work, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I always thought, like, with acting, it was just, you know, pretend as hard as you can. But then I realized, you know, it's actually the opposite. You know, you have to tell as much truth as you possibly can for it to translate to somebody that's watching it. And what allows me to just continue doing it is my peers. I see a lot of my peers doing so well. I see a lot of my peers trying so hard. I know what it gives me, and I feel most, you know, whole and complete. And I feel like, you know, God's given me this purpose to be an actor, and to be able to get to a certain point in my career where I can help to, you know, inspire other people, or to help me, you know, keep going. So yeah, it was a beautiful, blessed accident. Yes. So I'll tell you a bit about that journey of writing Brown Sugar. So it started off initially, we were part of a school called The Unseen, and every now and again we'd participate in a showcase. So it was that time of the month, and me and Jenny decided to say that we wanted to, you know, work together and do something. So wrote a scene, just a small scene that we wanted to do, which was one of the, you know, sort of significant scenes in the film that has since been expanded on. We didn't get to actually do the scene because we decided that we wanted to sort of explore more workshops and go to different places, but we still felt passionate about wanting to perform the scene. It went from wanting to do the scene at a showcase to then wanting to probably do like a short recording of the scene, like a sort of thing for like a show reel. And then we decided, like, you know what, we might as well write a whole short film about it. And from then we just started writing things back and forth to each other, throwing ideas. Is this good? What do we think about this? How do we want to do this? How do we want to organize it? And yeah, that's how it happened. Well, how did I end up with working with Euras Films? Well, so Saru, who is the lovely co-founder of Euras Films, she went to my drama school, Identity, and I thought she was just amazing. Like, I think she's a fantastic person. I think she's a fantastic soul, and I think she's an amazing actress as well, and obviously, clearly, a very amazing producer. So me and Jenny were kind of thinking, are we going to do this ourselves? Are we going to fund this ourselves? How are we going to go about it? So Jenny obviously was able to find a DOP and a director, and I thought, well, I know Saru is working really hard in making strides and becoming a producer, and just sort of the stuff that she wants to do and the breakthroughs that she wants to make in the industry. I thought, well, who else am I going to call to be able to help us for this project? So yeah, Saru's just, she's fairy godmother, as Jenny likes to like describe her, because some of the stuff that she does, it's like she'd do something and then she'd act as if it was like something completely normal and expected. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, it's not completely normal and expected. How have you done that? And then it's just like, it's almost like she takes on the role as a, like, sort of a, it's almost like her duty, and you can tell that she pours everything that she can into it. And I think that's very important, to be able to know someone like that, one, and to be able to work with someone in that way and be able to sort of align your ideas with that person. And I really think that with Euras Films, it's number one, 100% going to grow into the place that it needs to grow. Number two, exceed that. And I think being part of that at this early part of this journey is like an honor for us all as cast and crew members. And I think it's amazing. But that's how I initially got connected with Euras. And I only realized that it was Suri spelled backwards like last week. So I don't know why I didn't know that. I'm usually good at this stuff, but yeah.